Hello, welcome to the channel. This video is about determinants. Let's get started. Today we talk about indefinite article A or N. Let's take a look what we gonna cover. Indefinite article A and N, and also the usage of indefinite article. What time to use A or what time to use N, and there's some particular hints. And whether we use one or A or N, what situation could apply them? So the number one thing is, what actually is indefinite article A or N, and what situation we should apply them? Let's take a look. Article is very important in English grammar. For English color blue nouns, we either have countable or uncountable. And indefinite article A or N applies on countable noun have only one, which we call singular countable nouns. Is indicated for the first time the noun is mentioned, or a very specific noun is not important. The use of A or the use of N depends on the sound of the following color blue. For example, a car, an apple. The word car is a consonant, and the word apple, A, is a vowel sound. So we can't say an car or a apple. There's some example. I need an umbrella. I don't care what kinds of umbrella is it. Or she's a talent magician. Introducing her as a person for the first time, then we use are. He has a new job. He has a new job. It's not important what kinds of job he has. I want to buy the book. The specific book is not important. She ordered an iced coffee. It doesn't matter what type of iced coffee. There are many different usage where we are talking about indefinite article A or N. What are they? It can be used to talk about personal professions. He's an accountant. Or to express of quantities such as a lot of people, a kilo, an hour and a half. And sometimes A could be used instead of per, in expressions like price, speed, time, and ratio. For example, $50 a kilo. Sometimes A can be used instead of per in certain expressions related to price, speed, time, and ratio. $50 a kilo, 800 miles an hour, 3 times a week. And also in some exclamations, we use singular nouns to express admiration or surprise, like, what a show! She's such a funny girl. Then when do we use A and when do we use N? Let's take a look at the differentiation between them. A is used before a noun, that is starting with a consonant sound. For example, D, dessert. R, road. Tunnel, sea. Instead, N is followed with a noun starting with a vowel. Now remember, not the vowel letter, but the sound have a vowel sound, like egg, so an egg. Aquarium, an aquarium. In some cases, even the color blue is not starting with a vowel letter, but they starting with a vowel sound. We will still use an instead of a. For example, MTR is starting with a, so even the letter M is not a vowel letter. We still use an. LCD. Okay, L is starting with a sound, so it's still using an LCD mode or RTHK program. It's very important for DSC students to use indefinite article properly. Wrong use of that will deduct marks. And some other hints that will be available for those students. Let's take a look. Some words begin with a vowel letter, but produce in the consonant sounds, we will use A instead. For example, university, the word is a vowel sound. And European is same. Okay, even starting with E, a vowel letter, but it's not a vowel sound. So we say a European. One-way street. The word what, okay, it's a double sound. So one, even is a vowel letter, we still use A. And take a look at this. Okay, so it's an adjective that's modifying the street. Actually, whether we use an article A or N, it depends on the closest word that actually before the blue. For example, some other cases like H, when H is a silent sound. So we will actually see whether they're starting with a vowel sound. For example, hour instead of hour. Okay, so hour is R, so it's an hour. Or honor, so it's still using N. For the first time we mention a blue, we will use indefinite article N or A to introduce this color blue. That's the color. Indefinite article typically used to referring a person or things for the first time. This is a new girl and a new boy in my class. If you actually referring the same person again, then you would use definite article the. The girl is Thai and the boy is India. And the pronunciation of the will be depending on the sound of the following word. A shorter E sound will be used where it's a consonant. A slightly longer E will be used with the beginning of vowel sound. Then the next one is what time do we use one and what time do we use a or at when we are having only one color blue and it is accountable. Let's take it up. When we are measuring time, distance, price and other quantity, using of one and using of a or n actually having much difference in meaning. It cost me $1,000. It cost me $1,000. They're the same. She arrived after one day, or she arrived after a day. But in some case, the using of one and using of a or an is slightly different. Let's take a look at the following situations. A computer will not help you to get an A. What does it mean? It implies computer isn't the only thing you need. But if you say one computer will not help you to get an A, you emphasize even single computer won't be sufficient enough to succeed, implying that you need more than one. And sometimes one is functioned as a pronoun. Let's take a look at the following situations. For example, an egg tart is a tasty dessert. Try one implying the egg tart. Similarly, I have two computers, a new one and an old one. It means I have a new computer and an old computer. Now once again, friendly reminder. Computer is starting with a consonant letter, so we're supposed to use a computer. However, because the closest adjective, old, is a vowel letter and also a vowel sound, so we say an old computer. This is very important because whether we use a or an, it depends on the closest word. Very nice, and that's all for indefinite article. Like this video and subscribe our channel. See you next time. Goodbye.